We have a surprise guest today who is going to tell us a lot about what she's been through, how she's found her purpose, and I've been with her through her journey as she moved and as she transitioned from what she was doing to what she's doing now. So I would like to introduce Neena Shah. Neena's there with us. Hi, Neena.
Hi everyone.
Really nice to see you. And thank you for giving us your time today. I know you have you have to go straight after this for coaching sessions, but really value the time that you've given us today to share your story and how you went through, the whole transition period. And before even you went through the transition, right? I'm going to ask you some questions, and maybe the audience might have some questions for you. But how did you know? And we'll go straight into it. Sorry, but how did you know that this is what you wanted? Like when you were working in that field of accountancy, you know, uh, were you experiencing any kind of symptoms as to, this is not for me, and there may be something else that I'm destined for? What was actually happening at that time?
So, um, firstly, thank you for the opportunity to tell my story to everyone. And yeah, I will actually start from the beginning. Literally, ever since I decided to do accountancy, it just didn't feel right. But I never knew why or didn't understand what was happening. But as I did work through the exams and that was all fine, but as soon as I started working, it's like certain days was just off. Some days don't feel like doing something, some work, or it just takes me longer. And but eventually, at least about 8 years ago, I think, it was just a case where I just didn't enjoy working at all. It just I feel tired all the time, um not getting along with the employees, although they didn't do anything wrong, but it just didn't help with matters. It just felt like everything was just a stumbling block, everything felt wrong. um yeah, and I just didn't enjoy what I was doing. It just felt very repetitive, and there's like just no joy and just no purpose. Like it just felt like, what am I doing here? I'm not
Mm.
even making a difference to anything in life. So pretty
Yeah.
much that was what it was.
Wow, wow. This is so weird because the symptoms were so similar for me. Like there was almost this like restlessness within, wasn't there? Like you're at the wrong place. You're not enjoying it anymore, and you're thinking, is this what life is? Is this what I'm going to be doing for the next 20, 30 years until I retire? And is this what life is about? Those are the kind of questions, isn't it, that you're probably asking. And
Yes.
like you said, you are also, maybe not getting along with the rest of your colleagues because the 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 base of that was, this feeling from within that you are
Yeah.
not at the right place, which made
And
you,
yeah, so when I started, of course, working with you, it kind of escalated even more with just trying to go part time, trying to see if something would give. Um, Eventually, I just felt like my boss is just gonna fire me anyways. It was just that I just thought before he fires me, I think I should just resign. That's how
yeah,
bad it got.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I totally get that because in a similar fashion, I changed so many jobs. I changed so
yeah,
many jobs trying to find something that was I could fit into, something that I thought would work for me, but it just wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening. So how did you know what you are passionate about? Like, a lot of us find ourselves in this place where we don't know what we are really passionate about, right?
yes.
We're simply in a profession because like society dictates to us when we're young as to, this is what you should do and this is what where the money is, so go and train yourself in this. But where was it this kind of passion? Where did you find your passion actually?
So for me, I think I actually found my passion when I was quite young. I was probably 12 years old, and we just had a day off, and I had gone to the sports hall and I just saw some girls playing badminton. As you all know, I'm a badminton coach now. But I went to the sports hall, the girls were playing, and in my head, it just felt like come on, I'm sure you can play this better. And literally in my first year of entering the high school, I kind of straight away, got into the school team, and within like I already won the districts which the other school team had been winning for 5 years. So that just felt very natural. So that had happened already. But of course, we go through school. So I had to finish high school. I was still struggling. Never getting the percentage, no matter how hard I worked, it just didn't feel anything. I was getting anywhere. Did my A levels, so moved to Nairobi, did my A levels, and still couldn't find anything. And then, like you say, typical, I mean, this wasn't even imposed by my parents. It was probably imposed by myself to say, oh, what am I gonna do? I could probably play badminton until I was 25, 30, but what afterwards? What am I gonna do later? So I ended up then thinking, okay, I need to do something, but I started with doing accounting, but I just didn't do really well. I mean, I did put the effort in. I did finish the accounts and law papers straight up because I'd put in the effort, but it just didn't feel right. And then uh yeah, I just carried on. And then when I stopped playing badminton totally, when I had my son, and when life happened. So for 6 years I didn't play any badminton, and that's when I really fell ill. I kind of had lack of vitamin D, my muscles started weakening, just kind of felt really low mood swings, and nothing felt right. So luckily for me, I after 6 years of all of that, I just decided, the doctor said, look, there's nothing wrong with you, but you just need to be happy and just do what you enjoy. So I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to stop working just straight away because I've got lots of bills to pay and everything. But I started running initially because I used to love running as well. So nature and everything. So I went back to running, once a week, then twice a week, and from 10 minutes to 20 minutes to 1 hour. Carried that on for almost a year, and then went back to badminton for once a week. And after a few years, I started playing twice a week and got into the county team. But
So
juniors,
if I may just come in there, Nina.
sure,
So your passion was there, right? From
already,
a young
yes.
age already. Like
Yes,
you pretty much knew like you were really passionate about it. And I remember you saying this to me, like you used to play every day for
pretty
from
much. Yeah, 7 days a
yeah.
week, three hours a day.
Yeah, yeah. So this is where, if I may share here, I was a little bit different. I had no passion, which is like, I had no idea. Like, what am I going to do? Even the degree that I did, right? I just followed my friend and I said, okay, you're doing electronics and software engineering. I'll do that just because you're doing it, right? So I had no passion. The only thing that I knew, and even then, I think I didn't really know at that time. But now that when I think back, almost like I was this magnet of people who would have issues, right? And they would come and talk to me. The thing is, I like to listen. That's all I can say. I just like to listen to people and just, they would come and just put everything on me, and they were like, I've got this problem, Vishal, can you solve this or help me with this and whatever. And sometimes it was all about just listening. So, but I didn't really know that that was what I'm going to end up doing, you know. So people who are in that phase, right, where they might not know what their passion is, it's about looking for those kind of clues as to what is it that you like doing. What is it? It may not be. In Nina's case, it was pretty straightforward. Like she loved playing the sport, badminton. But what is it that you can notice in yourself, in your day-to-day lives, that you see happening, where almost like where you are being of value to someone else, right? And this is something that you may want to kind of, or some, maybe even it's writing, for example. You may like some kind of writing to do, and you think that people where people actually give you good feedback. That's another clue. Where do people notice you, right? And that could be something that is something that you could be connected to. Yeah. Yeah, Nina.
So maybe something that just comes naturally, you're just good at it. You don't have to kind of work at it. It it just happens, like, you know, you've done it once and everyone like, oh wow, that's great. Like, you've not even tried it. That's like probably your first thing that you've done, but it really just comes up.
Yeah, yeah, and it doesn't feel like work, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like, now that I'm doing all these sessions, and it doesn't feel like work at all. As some of you know who are doing the group sessions with me, if they tell me, oh, Vishal, you've got to do this. We want to do this on a Sunday morning. I said, yeah, okay, I'm ready. I'll be up there Sunday morning and we can do it. So something where you feel like it's is not a chore as such,
Yeah.
and you enjoy doing it. That's how I feel that you can really connect to your passion. Fantastic. Thanks for that, Nina. So, if I may ask, Nina, what were the challenges? Once you found out that you wanted to do this, you wanted to coach as a badminton coach. What were the challenges you were facing when you were trying to transition from your old job to what you're doing now?
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to mind always is finance, because you think, oh my God, how am I gonna manage? Obviously, accountant's salary to coach salary, and you think straight away, shit, no, I'm not gonna be able to do this. That was one of the challenges. The other thing in this case was the hours, because as a coach, in the evenings, basically, I'm literally out. So how am I gonna spend time with my family? How are we gonna, get along? Um, what are, how are we gonna do stuff? And that's still a little bit of a challenge, because there are days when I'll not see, my husband, and there are days when I'll not see my son. So that is probably one of the biggest challenges that we face as a family. But I think we are getting to a point where we do have probably 15-20 minutes sometimes just in a day. For example, Wednesday is our busiest day, or my busiest day, and I'll probably literally have half an hour or so to spend with them, and just sit down and just either watch, even if it's just watching a little bit of TV together. Not the ideal stuff, but it's just something just to sit together and just spend some time. um and one was fear, probably, as well, that, oh, what's everyone gonna say? Oh, and I have faced it, where, people say, oh, from an accountant to a coach, oh, that's, like, oh, a big change. Why did you decide to do that? Oh, yeah, it's just a snub that people will have. But um don't fear, don't have a fear. If you like to do something, give it a go.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful. Yeah, it's always the fears, isn't it? And like yours, mine was also the fear about, where is the money going to come from, right? Who's going to pay for the mortgage, and who's going to pay for the expenses? And if I transition, how is that going to work, right? I think a lot of us get caught up in that, and to take that brave step of just letting it go and making that move, that takes a lot of guts, a lot of self belief, as well as self worth, right? And for me, that along with, again, like our families are the best in this cases. They will just I mean, some are there to support, but most of them were there to, oh, Vishal, how will you manage, what will happen, that they're more worried than you are, and that makes you even more worried, right? So it's about sometimes stepping over all of that, and facing those fears and overcoming those, and that transition period. I must admit, it took me 7 years to just transition from something that I love doing, uh, something from that I didn't love doing to something that I love doing. 7 years to transition, and come 2019 was the time I said, okay, I have to do this now. I can't bear to be in the job that I, I am. So yeah, I mean that was a big challenge, and I'm sure a lot of us face those challenges, especially to do with the financial side of it. Can I give up my job, and will this sustain me, my new passion? And B is, is there support from me, from my family, from my wider friends groups, etc. What will others say? That's the biggest killer of dreams, right? What will others say? Yeah. So yeah, and so this is where I want to ask you, Nina, is what helped you to overcome those fears? The lack of maybe confidence, the lack of belief in yourself at that time of, how is all this going to work out? Will I be able to sustain myself, my family? How did you overcome that?
Um, I think, of course, at that point I was working with you, so the meditation every day and the just encouragement from you, and just the fact that I knew my boss is gonna fire me, I might as well try something new. And um, it and because I loved it, I think I had already been doing some work since July 19 in terms of coaching. So I kind of had a little bit of an idea of, I'd already been running the children's junior sessions already for a few years. So I thought, well, and I also tried it out with another company. So I was pretty much bringing in all the students in. So I thought, well, if I'm doing all the work, I might as well go out and have the courage to do it by myself. And that's what just helped me. But yes, definitely a lot of support. I have been blessed because a lot of support from my parents, from my son. My husband's now on board. My parents and my sister, they've all been very, very supportive. I mean, they've always seen me playing lots of badminton, and now just changing over has made it, even better to a certain extent.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, yeah. So it's that what we hold within, isn't it, that
Yeah.
stops us from actually moving forward. What I found was once as I went through this process of clearing what I was holding within, it gave me more courage, gave me more self-confidence as well, and also believing in myself. Like I am actually able to do this. I am worth it. The biggest thing for me was I cannot spend the rest of my 20, 30 years in this job, that I was doing. No way can I do that. And then, the support in terms of the family, like I just forced it. I said, look, I've tried it for 7 years. I'm not going to try it anymore. I'm going to give this what I love 6 months and see how it goes, right? Yeah, 6 months, and my wife, of course, was working at that time, so she was supporting me in that sense financially. And the 6 months that I had, the time limit, I saw a little bit. It wasn't the same that I was earning back in where I was working, but I saw at least that there was a start, that there is potential there, right? If I'd given those 6 months and nothing worked or nothing turned up, then I'd probably have to go back again. But then, from that's where the journey started, and I think that helped me overcome my fear. So just like you, Nina, it was having that confidence, taking those steps to see how it goes, and then reevaluate after maybe a few months and up to even a year. I was like thinking, shall I go back again or what? Is this good enough for me? Will this help, me and my family? And the best thing about it was delivering value to people, to be able to uh, see that smile on people's faces when you work with them at the end and you having helped them. For me, that was the biggest reward that I could ever get. So um, yeah, at the end, it was all worth it. But I must say that it was getting that confidence and to be able to clear what I was holding within that actually helped me move forward. Right. And one thing I also wanted to mention here is that Nina also found her spiritual purpose. She has her earthly purpose, which she, the badminton as a badminton coach, but also her spiritual purpose. Would you want to talk a little bit about that, Nina?
Yes, can talk about it. So today, when we had the Hawaiian prayer, the energy was absolutely high, literally so high. That's why I had to turn off my video and my mute button because Vishal, you know what happened? Yes, that's what happened. So to basically my spiritual purpose here on earth, it is probably I'm muddling the words here, but the spiritual purpose is basically helping those energies who are stuck between earth and the divine are being released through me.
Yeah,
So that's what we found as a purpose for me in a spiritual sense.
yeah, amazing. And like I shared in today's, I think it was in today's post that, in that sense, Nina, you are my teacher. I got to learn so much about energies and entities. I still remember taking you in that session the first time when we, that entity
The
came in.
heart one, yeah.
Yeah, and for me that was the first time I actually experienced this. So yeah, your spiritual purpose came up from that as we cleared all your chakras and unblocked them, and then suddenly this is what you're meant to do, you know, and the amount of satisfaction and fulfillment you have when you find that passion, not only your earthly one but also your spiritual one. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Nina?
Um, yeah, so of course, I mean, when I've kind of realized that this is what my purpose is, I was, of course, a bit surprised as to what, why me, or why should I be doing such work? Because not accepting it. But that's when I actually connected with my ancestors and especially my grandmother. And she said, this is a very, very good deed that you're doing. You are helping people stuck between the earth and this divine to get back to the divine to, report back and hopefully progress everything here in nature and on this earth. So it's a very, very good deed. And it just kind of stuck, and then it just kind of made me realize that actually not everyone is, gets this to do this, because it's very, the people without fear, the very bravest and those who have courage would actually be able to do this. Not everyone can do this. So after that, after the acceptance, it's been even more and more energies, coming um up from here.
Yeah. No, it's a very divine gift you have, and you're helping Mother Earth, lifting all those energies which are stuck here, and in essence, you're helping Mother Earth erase her own frequency and vibration, right? So it's a very commendable job you're doing. And Nina is one person who tracks even now on the app every day, putting down how many energies she released on a daily basis, and it's not it's quite normal for me to see that each day she's releasing about 100 energies, right? And that's really phenomenal work, you know. So I just if everyone can put their hands together for you know Nina, really a really good job that she's doing. So thank you so much. But
No, thank you for all your help, Vishal, because this wouldn't have been possible. I mean, it's, again, belief in this process is quite important, but also making sure you follow the the everything that you need to do. It's a bit of discipline, I suppose, and commitment to make sure that if you're supposed to do something, make sure you do it. And of course, yes, it doesn't come naturally. So when I started doing the meditations, yes, I wasn't natural, at it, but the music really, really drew me in, and it just kept the focus. And with practice, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's getting better and better every day. So
Yeah,
please,
no,
yeah, ensure you
it's
keep up with the process.
yeah, no, it's always an honor, to work with all of you and to help and to just make sure that you reach your goals and whatever mission you have on this planet Earth. We all have come here to do something or play a certain role, isn't it? It's just that sometimes we are bogged down by these limitations and beliefs that we've created ourselves over time, and that's all I do is all just peel them out for you or help you peel them out. You do most of the work anyway, right? So yeah, no, thanks for that, Nina. And I will put, I think she's got 10 minutes, so I'll put, if anyone would like to ask her any questions, please feel free. If anyone has any questions, maybe about their passion, their purpose, if they're stuck somewhere, feel free to ask Nina, myself, or even Mira and Nilma. But no, it's been amazing and amazing journey working with you, Nina, and to see where you've come.
Yes, definitely. I mean, the first day I started, I had no clue. I was always looking to Vishal for guidance and thinking, what am I supposed to be doing? How do I do this? Or, it's like it was all very alien to me. I just had no clue whatsoever. And even now, I'm not really sure some days what I'm doing, but I just do the meditation every day. And yeah, I mean, it's again a lot about knowing it. And um I suppose I do connect to the subconscious now a bit more often. And like, it just said to me the other day that there is abundance, there is the universe does provide for you, so you don't have to worry about things. Let it happen, and it will kind of work out at the end of the day. So
Yeah, yeah, and yes, the other thing, of course, is you're now also able to communicate to the subconscious yourself, right? It's
yes.
something we didn't mention. So that's another amazing. See, the thing is, as you go and take yourself on this journey, things open up to you, right? And this is why uh, even on the app, like for me, it's all about empowerment. And Nina is a perfect example. If you are consistent with the exercises, you do it regularly, you release what you're holding within. We're all able to communicate to the subconscious, right? So I'm not special. This is all it is. I'm sharing this so that you can be able to do that too. Yeah. And here is a perfect example of Nina who's able to do it. So yeah, Mira, you had a question, yeah?
Yeah, I just want to say it's very commendable. Thank you, Nina, for sharing this with us. It's very, very inspiring, actually. A lot of people, and I'm one of them. So just a little bit of a share with you is I honestly did not know, what my purpose in life was spiritually, until again, maybe about a year and a half ago. And honestly, the journey has been something else. And I know I can relate to you in a sense that even with Vishal, even with Nilma, and everybody else over here, I think when you actually get to know your spiritual purpose in life, uh, you just change. You change as a person, you change the way you see things, your perspective changes. You start operating on a level of unconditional love more than you are before. To give you an example, I have really calmed down. I was very short-tempered. I used to snap a lot. And who I've become now is completely different. And I now am trying to, go onto that level on an elevation on a soul level rather than a mind and body level. And I really want to elevate to a place where I can just operate on unconditional love. It's not going to be easy, but it's a path that I want to be on. And I can completely relate to where you're coming from. A lot of people will not. But thank you so much for sharing this with us. I really appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Mira. Smita, you had a question? You unmuted yourself.
I just wanted to ask Neena. Neena, thank you so much for sharing this. Even I didn't know you had gone so far. I mean, we've been doing these sessions together, but I just wanted to ask Neena that does she do like that one source meditation every day, or any different meditations which we have learned with you, Vishal?
So pretty much I do the source meditation every day because after we finish the sessions with Vishal, he just said, yeah, do the source
Mm,
meditation. And because also I do the one with the connect with higher self with love and compassion. That one we started doing because of the energies coming releasing, and we just had to send them love and compassion to make sure, they just understand that they are here. We're not judging them and they can free themselves. So those are the two meditations I pretty much do every day. There are times when I just do grateful for the body and mind kind of, but that's once in a while maybe. Um, and um pretty much those are the two main or three main meditations that I do. I don't do that many, or as I say, I'm not. I'll just do what which I'll say, and I'll not probably look into myself to do outside of that, because I just believe that
yeah,
what he said and is working, so I just carry on with that practice.
right.
I,
Thank
I
you.
I think more than that, more than what I've said, what it is Nina's very consistent. That's one
Mm,
one
yeah,
characteristic that I've seen in her, which I've not seen in anyone. She will do
true.
the meditation on a regular basis, and not just any meditation. Meditation that is more specific to what she's doing. So
Right.
again, like I was saying in the group session that we were doing this week, is not all meditations are the right ones, may be the right ones for you. uh, Use the one that is more specific to you, and which is helping you at that particular time, and they always change, right? So yeah, but the key here is to be consistent. I think somebody sent me a message. I don't know. Oh yeah, it was Debbie actually. Yeah. Last night I sent her a message at about 2:49 in the middle of the night, and she goes to me, Vishal, what are you doing in the middle of the night? Did you sleep late or did you wake up early? I said, well, I wake up at this time to meditate, right? So this is how consistent you've got to be. Like, if you're doing it at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night, do it 3 o'clock every day. You will wake up automatically, right? Doesn't have to be, but it can be any time. But the key here is consistency. Consistency is key, like Nina does. Wonderful. There's, I think, was there a question on chat? Oh yeah, it's from Debbie actually. Nina, what are you looking forward to spiritually speaking? What are you looking
uh
forward to spiritually speaking?
yeah, at the moment, like I said, I have one thing that has kind of come to, or to me, that has been kind of been there, is that when we pray, I mean, I have nothing against religion, trust me, my family is very religious. In fact, my nephew is going to go and become a sant with the Swaminarayan, so it's a big thing. But for me personally, I feel, if 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 like God is a person, he was actually a human being. And Mahavir Swami, or Sri Swamiji, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, they are all human beings at the end of the day. If they manage to find a purpose, find something within their own mind and body and soul, that means we are all capable of getting there. Um, but yes, this was for me 20 years back. I was just struggling with everything, didn't do well in A levels, didn't know which career to follow, didn't know what to study. And I was sitting in the mandir, and in my mind, I just said to, I just said, I prayed, I just said, look, I don't know what I have to do. I'm just failing at everything. Just show me the right path. And literally, that was my prayers every day. Just give me the strength to follow the right path. And that's probably being answered almost 20 years later. So
Mm.
it is in ourselves that we can find the right path. So in terms of spiritually, I'm not sure. I mean, I've kind of got the purpose that I'm helping Mother Earth release energies from here. Um, I just want to probably be free from all these dramas of life, is what I would like to say. But other than that, I have no purpose as such.
Wonderful,
Oh.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Nina. Looking at the time, I wish we had more time with you, but so much that you've given us today. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know you have to
Thank
go.
you.
Yes, thank you everyone, and thank you, Vishal, for giving me this opportunity
Thank
to
you.
talk to everybody. And guys, if you have any queries, just feel to message me. I'll try and help as best as I can. But no, definitely you can all do it as well, is all I can say. I'm sorry I got a rush. I got a session at 7:30, but we'll see you soon, I hope. Take care everyone, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Bye. See you
Bye, Nina.
all.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, yeah. So thanks, Nina. I could see her son calling her because it was time for her to leave, so I didn't want her to stay longer than necessary. So yeah, thank you all for coming today to listen to Nina's story of how she found her purpose, her earthly purpose, as well as her spiritual purpose, and to give you that reassurance that it is possible. It is possible. If there is something that you're not feeling good about in your current job or your current profession, and you think of transitioning, then it is possible. If we are able to do it, everyone's able to do it. We are not any super beings. So yeah, anything else? Any final questions that anyone might have before we finish? Even to Mira or Nilma, or everything good? Smita has something.
Yeah, Vishal.
Mhm.
I just wanted to let Mira and Nirma know that yesterday I did this Hawaiian prayer 108 times. And I think since 2, 3 days, as and when I'm walking or doing something, I just keep on doing that prayer. And yeah, I'm feeling quite good about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Thank you for that, Smita. In fact, even today, like Nina
Yeah.
said, the power was so immense. You could feel the energy. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
Thank you so much for practicing. It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
What it's meant to do, it's meant to clear your negative energies. So you can imagine that you've got a house full of dust and you keep cleaning it until it's clean. So keep doing it until all your energies come out, all your emotions, all your negative emotions. It's like, when you're set a goal and you can't reach that goal, something is stopping it. What's stopping it? It's your emotions. So by saying this prayer, you will get to your goal 10 times faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so if there's nothing now, thank you all so much for coming and spending time with us, and I hope this session has been useful. It is recorded, so I will put the replay on there and you can watch it again. I would really love to do Nilma's prayer again, so I'm sure I will repeat that. But otherwise, have a lovely, lovely evening, and everyone have fun, and we'll see you, I'm sure, soon again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
guys.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Thank you.
everyone.